How's it going, my peeps? It is now time for the Raw results / highlights and review video. I'll go over the results of the show, some of the highlights of my opinion, and give you guys my thoughts, my review on the show. So it kicks off with CM Punk, who is out there for a matchup against one of the Wyatt family members, and it is Luke Harper. So Luke Harper versus CM Punk, Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan watch at ringside. And Luke Harper dominated most of the matchup. In the end, CM Punk starts picking up some momentum. Then all of a sudden, CM Punk jumps from the ring onto Eric on the outside, taking him out with like a crossbody. He then gets on the apron, goes for his springboard clothesline on Luke, but Luke catches him with a big boot in midair. Goes for the cover, CM Punk kicks out. And then Luke went for his, finisher, his clothesline finisher, but CM Punk counters it, rolls him up, and gets the victory. After the matchup, Wyatt family attacks CM Punk. The crowd starts chanting yes, 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 obviously for Daniel Bryan to come out. And then Daniel Bryan comes out with a steel chair. He comes running down the ramp. He hits Eric with the steel chair, and then gets in the ring. He hits Luke as well, but then Bray Wyatt kicks him in the guts. He grabs him by the head, but then CM Punk swings the chair. Bray Wyatt kind of ducks and gets out of there. And CM Punk, I believe, takes out Luke while Daniel Bryan drop kicks Eric out of the ring. And CM Punk and Daniel Bryan stand tall. They then announced that the fans can choose Randy's opponent tonight. Choices were Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, and Big E Langston. And then backstage, Renee Young interviews CM Punk about what just happened. CM Punk says he's used to being outnumbered, due to facing Paul Heyman's goons. And he says, but he's not the only one that's pretty much the Wyatt pissed off, or attacked. And then Michael Cole talks live with Paul Heyman on the phone. And Paul Heyman talks about how he injured this, injured that. He's got a swollen face, spinal something, I don't know. And I'm like, damn, all of that from, those kendo sticks and that go to sleep. CM Punk does that all the time to other superstars. But anyways, in the end, he starts crying, and Michael Cole asks him, "Are you crying?" And he keeps on crying, and then just hangs up the phone. Ryback then comes out for a match against the Great Khali. They show footage from the app showing why this match is taking place, and pretty much you see Ryback and Hornswoggle at catering, and Ryback takes a cupcake and just puts it shoves it onto Hornswoggle's head. And then Santino confronts him and says, "Why don't you pick somebody on your own, pick on somebody your own side, size, I mean." And Ryback tells him, "You want cake?" And then Santino says, "No, I don't eat carbs after 6. And then he says, "I meant him." And then he points behind Ryback. Behind Ryback is the Great Khali. And Ryback says he plans to. And then he calls them freaks and leaves. As far as the matchup goes, in the end, the Great Khali goes for his chop. But instead, Ryback hits him with a clothesline, covers him, and wins the matchup. I was disappointed that he didn't go for the shell shock. Didn't win the matchup with the shell shock. Whatever. After the match, Santino goes in the ring to check on Khali, and Ryback just grabs him from his legs to the outside of the ring. And then Ryback went on the apron, I guess, to go after Hornswoggle, but Santino grabbed Ryback's legs and took him off the apron just like Ryback did to Santino. And then Santino he climbs on top of Ryback. Ryback just takes him off, and then says Ryback still rules. His music hits, and that was it. Following that, Del Rio faced off against Kofi Kingston in what was their, I don't know. Seems like these guys face off against each other a lot. And Del Rio always wins. This time was no different. He wins with the cross armbreaker. Good matchup, though. Really enjoyed the match. And after that match, they showed like a video package talking about the Big Show's lawsuit. Pretty much it went over every single reason why the Big Show is suing the company. Randy then comes out for his matchup against the Fans' Choice. Before Jerry the King Lawler announces the winning option, Randy gets on the microphone and it cuts a pretty good promo. Talks about how, talk to the crowd, look at your left or look at your right. Is there a, girlfriend there, or a mother? Then he says, that female is, wants to be with me. And I don't know, then he said something about the boyfriends, and he ends the promo by saying, all you guys are choosing, the only thing you're picking in this pool is my next victim. So, Jared the King Lawler then announces the winning option, and it ends up being, come on, try and guess it. Let's go. What do you guys think? Big E Langston, Dolph, or The Miz? Ends up being Big E Langston, and what surprised me though, two things actually. The amount of like percentage Big E Langston got compared to the others. He won by far with 70-something%. And The Miz got more votes than Dolph Ziggler. I was surprised by that. I was expecting Dolph to be in second place, but actually The Miz was. But not by much. Miz got 13% of the votes, while Dolph got 12% of the votes. Only a 1% difference, but still, I was expecting Dolph to get more votes than The Miz. But anyways, right off the bat in the matchup, Big E Langston takes Orton down with a shoulder tackle, and Randy gets out of the ring as soon as possible. The end of the matchup took place after Randy hit his DDT from the second rope, and then he went for the RKO. Big E Langston, pushed him off, and then he hit his signature clothesline, takes off the straps, and then prepares for the big ending. He grabs Orton, puts him up on his shoulder, but Randy gets off of Big E Langston's shoulder, turns him around, hits the RKO, covers him, wins the matchup. So Randy beats Big E Langston, but Big E Langston looked pretty good in the match. Afterwards, Tyson Kidd returned to team up with Natalya to take on Fandango and Summer Rae in a mixed tag team matchup. Tyson Kidd and Natalya end up winning the match after Tyson Kidd makes Fandango tap out to the sharpshooter. After that match, you had Damien Sandow getting interviewed backstage by Renee Young, and they showed footage of him cashing in unsuccessfully. She asks him how that feels. He says he can't sleep because of that, and his sole purpose from now on is to, end the Cena era. Real Americans then come in the picture along with Zeb Coulter. Zeb Coulter talks about how tonight they're going to beat Cody and Goldust once again. And then they say, "We the people," and afterwards, once they leave, Damien Sandow says, I think he said, "Me the people," or something like that, or "Me the person." I don't know, "Me the person" or "Me the people," one of the two. John Cena then comes out for the 6-man tag team match. Before the match, he cuts a promo on the Susan G Foundation. And then as far as the match goes, it was a great matchup. And in the end, there was a ton of finishers, Cody Rhodes, I think, hit the disaster kick on Swagger. You also had John Cena hitting the Attitude Adjustment, either on Antonio Cesaro or on Jack Swagger. I think it was Jack Swagger too. And then Damien Sandow hit his full Nelson Slam on John Cena. And Goldust was the legal man during this time. And he hit a bulldog. He hits a bulldog on Antonio Cesaro while at the same time drop-kicking Cesaro, who got on the apron. And in the end, John Cena hit a top rope crossbody on Cesaro. Goldust followed that up with the final cuts for the 1-2-3. So Goldust wins the matchup for his team. Great tag team matchup. Oh yeah, and how can I forget? On commentary, you had Del Rio and Zeb Coulter. And they were great on commentary, going back and forth. Both made some funny remarks. I really enjoyed Del Rio and Coulter on commentary. After the match, you see Big Show backstage in his suit. He's in the arena, actually, and he's hugging R-Truth and shaking hands with the primetime players and Zack Ryder? Yeah, Zack Ryder was there too. And then backstage, Vicky goes in Triple H's office and tells him, he's here. And then Triple H is like, who? And then she's like, the Big Show. And it's like, what? And then Stephanie comes in the office and he's like, yo, Big Show's here. And she's like, yeah, I know. I brought him in. And then he's like, why did you bring him in? And then she's like, oh, the board made me do it. Or the board wanted him in. And then she goes on to talk about how they don't want to bring in lawyers. They just want it to be between them and the Big Show, and Anyways, pretty much it ends with Triple H requesting, requesting Vicky to bring the Big Show in his office. And after that, it was Dolph Ziggler versus a returning Curtis Axel, non-title matchup. Quick little matchup. Curtis Axel in the end went for his finisher, but Dolph got out of it and then hits a zigzag, got the victory. That was kind of unexpected. I didn't expect Ziggler to win this matchup, especially because they also announced that on main event, Curtis Axel would be facing off against Big E Langston. And then backstage, Renee Young catches up with Daniel Bryan. He says, pretty much says the same thing as CM Punk. Looks like somebody else has an issue with the Wyatt family. And then backstage, Vicky tells Triple H that the Big Show wants to meet them in the ring. And then the Usos take on Drew McIntyre and Heath Slater of 3MB. The Usos win the matchup with the top rope body splash. After the match, Renee Young is with Los Matadores. They show some highlights of their matches and stuff since they've debuted. And then the El Torito comes in, and he's running all over the place. And then Los Matadores say that he's just horny. Afterwards, it's a Six Diva tag team matchup. The Bella Twins and Eva Marie versus Oksana, Tamina, and AJ. Eva Marie actually ends up winning the matchup for her team when she tags herself in. Tamina doesn't see it, and then she rolls up Tamina for the 1-2-3 and wins the matchup for her team. And then for the last segment of the show, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H go to the ring to, meet up with the Big Show. Big Show comes out, and he's out in his suit. Anyways, he says all he wants really is his job back, to drop the lawsuit. So Triple H doesn't want to give him his job back, but then Stephanie McMahon calms him down, and Stephanie says, "You want your job back? Alright, you've got your job back." And then he says, "Alright, that's good. There's only one more thing I want." And he says it's something I've never gotten before. And then the Shield's music hits, and they come out, and then they go to commercial. Once they come back, Big Show's like, "What is this? Is this like a setup or whatever?" And pretty much he says he just wants one more thing for him to drop the lawsuit. He wants a championship matchup against Randy at Survivor Series. So Triple H in the beginning declines, and then Big Show says, all right, I guess the lawsuit's going to continue, and in the end I'm going to go own all of this. And then he leaves, he's about to leave, and Triple H tells him, all right, wait, you've got the match at Survivor Series. And then Big Show tells him, what? Could he say that again? He says once again. Then once again, Big Show tells him, all right, say it louder. I can't hear it. He says it once again. And I think he says it maybe one more time. I'm not sure. And then finally, he tells the Big Show, all right, since you're, you got your job back, I'm going to put you in a match right now. And it's a handicap matchup. It's not going to be just against the Shield. It's going to be against the Shield and your opponent at Survivor Series, who's going to beat you, Randy. So then Randy Orton comes out, and it's Randy and the Shield versus the Big Show. They're all in the ring at the same time. Match starts, and Big Show did pretty damn well for himself, taking both the Shield and Randy out at the same time. He chokeslammed one of the Shield members, and then I think that's when he cornered Randy. And then Kane's music hits. And I'm expecting, Kane, the regular Kane, maybe unmasked, maybe with the mask, but, the Kane we know and we've seen for the past couple of years. And I see this guy with this suit coming out, and it's Kane. He's got the suit. He's wearing a suit. He doesn't have the bald look like he did when he was, when he wasn't masked. And I'm like, what the hell is this? At first, I thought it was, for some reason, I thought it was John Laurinaitis, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one that thought that. And I don't know, that was like the weirdest moment of the show. I was like, what is this? What? What's Kane doing in a suit? I mean, I was expecting Monster Kane. This is really corporate Kane. And he comes out and he grabs a few steel chairs, throws them in the ring for the Shield and Randy. They all grab some steel chairs, and they start beating up the Big Show with the steel chairs. And then they take Big Show out of the ring. Roman Reigns hits him with the steel steps. And then Kane takes off the announcer's table top or whatever. So then the Shield hit the triple powerbomb on the Big Show through the announcer's table. And that was it for the show. Afterwards, just Randy grabs the championship and raises it up and stands tall over the Big Show. So, what did I think about Raw tonight's highlights? The tag team match. The 6-man tag team matchup with Cody, Goldust, John Cena, and the Real Americans and Damien Sandow. And also the commentary for that matchup between Del Rio and Zeb Coulter. That was the highlight of the show for me. And as far as the matches go, unlike the good matches, well, that was a great match. Kofi versus Del Rio was another good matchup. And Randy versus Big E Langston wasn't a bad matchup either. And surprise of the night has to be Ziggler winning or beating Curtis Axel. Actually, no. What I'm even saying, surprise of the night was Kane coming out in that suit. It is, it's a weird sight after you see Kane, as this masked monster, or even just as an unmasked monster now coming out in a suit with, some hair. It was weird. I think it's gonna take some time to get used to. I wonder what he's gonna do when he's gonna compete. Anyways. That is it. As far as my rating for tonight's show, I'd give it like a 7, 6.5 to 7 on 10, around that range. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, you can click that like button down below. Quick little announcement that I already posted up in the comment section of my Ultimate Warrior giveaway is that the first roulette episode for 2K14 has been recorded, so it's going to be posted up pretty soon, probably on Wednesday. But that's it. I'm out, guys. See ya.